What's up, everybody? Straw Hats Are Cool. Back again with another tabletop game play video. Today we've got Doflamingo versus Edward Newgate. This one was recorded following the new restrictions, so the restrictions are in effect for this video. Um, Before we jump into the gameplay, I do just want to say thank you again to everyone who has been tuning in, subscribing to the channel, liking the videos, commenting, and whatnot. Um, at the time of this recording, we have just recently passed 200 subscribers. So, again, very grateful for all of that. Um, just want to touch on some announcements I made on the channel if you hadn't seen that already. Starting next Monday, I'm hoping to start having a consistent upload schedule where I will be uploading a video every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. If everything goes well, this video will be up on Wednesday, but we'll see how things go. I am going to Gen Con to play in the regional and Treasure Cup, so want to make sure I'm prepared for that as well. And then once I get back, hopefully I can start cranking out some more videos and get a consistent upload schedule for you guys. Um, so both players are getting set up here. I didn't catch who won the die roll for this one, so we will have to wait and see once we get going. I think this is going to be a good matchup. I played a lot of Doflamingo in set 2. I thought it was really good into both the red decks, Zoro and Newgate at the time. So this is going to be an interesting one now that we've got the restrictions and OP03 cards as well. So Newgate player starting off. Um, we are running the Straw Hat build here, playing Nami to search out that 5-cost Rush Luffy before passing over to the Doflamingo player. They do have their turn 1 Perona, which is what you want to see as a Doflamingo player to set up the following turns, rearranging those cards, stacking your draws, and making sure you've got good targets to use for your leader ability in the following turns. Newgate player here on their 3 Dawn turn, just going to be attaching 3 Dawn to the Nami. Going on the odd curve, it is often difficult for Newgate players to have turn 2 plays going first, so just putting 3 Dawn on there and getting an extra swing in works pretty well. Perona is going to be taking out that Nami. We're going to see an 8K swing from Doflamingo playing out that event pack Jinbei. So, um, if you're trying to build the Doflamingo deck, you definitely do want to have those event pack Jinbeis, but they are a bit pricey, and I personally don't think they're totally necessary. So if you're thinking about building a Doflamingo deck, don't be too afraid of not having those event pack Jinbeis, as they are running around $70-$80 right now. Gonna be attacking the Jinbei. I'm gonna let it go, and then we're gonna play a Rush Zoro. So, bit of an interesting build for the Newgate player here. I don't know that I've ever seen Newgate run Rush Zoro before, but I like the spice. So, uh, looks like we're going to be playing out that 3-cost Doflamingo. Again, same effect as Perona. Going to be reordering those top 5 cards, and it is also a blocker. And we're going to be using our leader effect to play out another blocker Doflamingo. Again, just digging a little deeper here. It's only going to be 1 card different, but, you know, always good to know what's coming. All right, so now we've got Newgate going into, is this their 7 Dawn turn? Yes. All right, so Newgate is on 7 Dawn. Probably going to see an attack there at the rested blocker Doflamingo. It's the natural 6K. It's going to force 2 cards out of hand for that. And this is going to be kind of a pesky blocker later in the game if we don't do something about it now. That is what we are seeing, just a 6K at the blocker Doflamingo. Whitebeard's player's got a very healthy hand size right now. Looks like we're going to be taking 5 Dawn. Maybe rethinking that for a minute. Um, Looks like they're eyeing up that Otama now. I'm going to be reducing the power of the Doflamingo. And we saw the 5 Dawn earlier, so probably a Marco. coming down now, and that is correct. We are seeing the Marco come down to pop that blocker Doflamingo. Really doing a good job of making sure the Doflamingo player doesn't have much of a board. It's always a good thing to do. Uh, One of the things that I think helps Doflamingo in this matchup is their ability to play out characters while still attacking Newgate, continuing to put on pressure while also maintaining a board. Um, Newgate player did counter out of that one with a guard point, and personally, I think this might have been a bit of a mistake because unless you're 100% sure you're going to be playing 9-drop Newgate, and now that that's only it's restricted to one now, chances of that happening aren't all that great. And going into the opponent's next turn, you're going to be taking that last life anyways. So I don't really see much of a point in defending that last hit there with the guard point. Probably would have just saved that for later if it was me. But again, like I said, I'm not the expert. I'm just simply sharing my opinions on this. So seeing a couple 6K attacks and then another one coming with the Rush Luffy. Going to be playing a chopper and passing. And we do see now that, like I was saying, just taking that life in the end anyway. So I think we could have afforded to save the guard point there. Are seeing the 3,000 worlds come bottom that Luffy. Um, Not too sure how I feel about that. I mean, it can avoid the blockers, which is scary, but I probably would have just backed the Marco as he's going to be harder to get rid of in the future. And just attack into the Luffy and get rid of him. He's not coming back if there's events in the Newgate player's hand. And as we saw, there were a couple events in there. Going to be swinging for looks like 9K and playing out the starter deck Gecko Moria to return a Doflamingo to hand. Newgate player is going to be using Red Hawk to counter out of that one and KO one of the Peronas. All right. So Newgate player's got an okay board right now. No, so does the Doflamingo player, a couple blockers, as well as an additional 5K body. So definitely looking pretty close here. Um, might look like the Doflamingo player is ahead right now, but you got to keep in mind that that Newgate player does have a large hand size. So going to be blocking with the Kuma to play out one of the vanilla pacifistas, just a 6K body, getting to block and attack and still maintain board presence is always good. Playing out Zoro, attacking 5K. Looks like we just counter out with a Jinbei. Now we're going to be seeing a vanilla Luffy come down as just a 4-cost 6K body. If any of you are playing early on in the OP02 format, this was a card we saw a little more as the early adopted Whitebeard list. We're running the Straw Hat package more similar to this one. A lot of vanilla as we saw the Luffy and starter deck Frankie as just some vanilla bodies that were also 6K. So it looks like we're attacking the Zoro. We are defending the Zoro here, and um, this does play out to work in the Newgate player's favor. But personally, I think I probably would have just let the Zoro go. And the reason for that is because the Zoro is only a 5K body, and that allows the opponent to just swing fives at it, which is what we're seeing happen now. But if we just let it go now, they're forced to swing for at least 6K because the only valid targets for the Doflamingo player to attack if the Zoro is gone are Marco and Newgate himself, who are both 6K bodies, which just forces your opponent to commit a little more to their plays. So we're going to be seeing the blocker Doflamingo come down again and rearranging the top 5 cards of their deck. Can't quite tell how much Dawn is left right now. Looks like about 5 or 6. Going to be resting 3 or 4. Bottom decking the Marco now. And then it looks like just a pass. So Newgate player now in a position where they've dropped a lot of their hands, so they are going to have to go for a game, I think. And they did fortunately top deck a Fire Fist here, which is huge for them, as that's going to allow them to clear both blockers and going to be a huge help for the Newgate player. We did see that I believe the Doflamingo player had a Boa Hancock in hand, so maybe would have been smarter to play that over the 3 cost blocker Doflamingo, as that's a 5k blocker. And we still got 3 Dawn up, so we could have even put one on the Boa to give her on block effect and still leave 2 Dawn up for if we do have that event counter. So going to be seeing a couple 7k swings now, taking the first one. I think in a position like this, the Doflamingo player is going to have to counter out of this one, because if not, we can just put everything on the Newgate, and that's probably going to be good enough to close out the game. So we're going to see now a 7k swing, which they will have to take, and then uh, looks like we are seeing a Machino come down to buff the Chopper, being replaced with another Machino to buff the Chopper. So he's now a 7k plus 1 Dawn. That makes him 8k. Fortunately, the Doflamingo player did not have enough to counter out of that one. They would have needed 2 2Ks or the Level Up Beam, which they did not have, unfortunately. So, very close game in the end. I do think this could have been a very different game if the Doflamingo player did play that Boa Hancock that we do see they did have um, out instead of the Doflamingo. Boa Hancock wouldn't have been able to get KO'd by the Fire Fist there, so probably could have hung on for another turn, and the Dofi player would have had a couple of attacks, which probably would have been enough to get through their hand, since they dropped a lot of it to defend that Rush Zoro at the end. But that's all I've got for today. Again, thank you as always for sticking around and watching the video. Hope you enjoyed. If you are enjoying the content, I do appreciate if you would give a like and subscribe to the channel. Like I said, hoping to get a consistent upload schedule here in the near future. With that, I will catch you all in the next video. Peace.